welcome back to Tricky Ricky's Power Hour, your depth scoop with your favorite Jonesville Comet coaches and athletes. On today's episode, we are interviewing a couple of Jonesville Comet basketball players, Caden Playford and Alan Knowles. Most importantly, the men's head basketball coach, Jeff Turner. Without further ado, let's get into this episode of Tricky Ricky's Power Hour with yours truly, Jacob.
All right. See you, bud.
Welcome back to Tricky Ricky's Power Hour. As today we'll be joined with a special guest. This coach was a Jonesville graduate. He also coached at Allegan for basketball and football. He finally decided to come back home and to coach Jonesville Comets. He took the Jonesville Comets varsity basketball team to a 13-3 season and also won the Big 8 title. Welcome to the studio, Jeff Turner. Pleasure to have you on my show today.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Nice introduction.
Coach, how did coaching in Allegan help you prepare the kids that you can coach now today?
In Allegan, I was there for 3 years. Before that, I was in Traverse City for 10 years. That's probably prepared me the most, being in Traverse City. Allegan, we were behind in a lot of skills, so we really had to work on remediation and skill work. And then they didn't really have a cohesive program, so we really had to work on the program as well. But I guess the struggles that I had there, sometimes as a coach and as a leader, the struggles prepare you better than the successes. Yeah. So we struggled in Allegan to win games, but I think that prepared me, made me more determined as a coach and a leader.
Very determined by showing just the power of our last season was very phenomenal with the Jonesville basketball team. As we move on to the next question, what sets you fire at the beginning of the game? Most people I talked to, just peers around the school, said you have a certain fire that just brings the atmosphere to the game.
Well, I'm pretty passionate about basketball. I mean, this is like this year coming up is like year 34, 35 consecutive years of coaching basketball, so it's something I'm very passionate about. I do believe as we play team basketball, we'll be the most successful. I'm pretty demanding as far as on what we're trying to do. A lot of our offensive sets and our defense for sure is all based on the whole group, not one or two players. So it's kind of like a puzzle that we have to kind of put together, and it's kind of, we're only going to be as well prepared as our team prepares in practices. So I know I'm a little fiery. I like that. I think the kids kind of feed off of that a little bit. They know that the expectations are high, and they do everything they can, especially here in Jonesville last year, to raise their level of game to get to that. So I'm very appreciative to be back in Jonesville, and the Jonesville athletes. I've coached some football and some basketball. Are good people. You watch the girls' sports too. They're very competitive. So it's good to be in a school setting that's values athletics, but also is inspired to be successful in athletics.
The student section is back. Last year, the basketball team missed them due to the COVID-19 protocols. Games last year were run by tickets. Not a lot of people were there in the games due to the capacity limits. The student section is going to be back this year. Anything that you're excited about with that?
I'm super excited about the student section. Just watching how strong and what a great voice they have in our football games and our football season and other games. I've come to some volleyball games, and the student section is loud and proud. So I'm really excited about getting hopefully a full student section in the basketball games, getting that place hopping and rocking, and some of the chants that I heard them doing in football and in volleyball. I'm like, okay, I can't wait to hear that in the gym. With a couple hundred kids in there going crazy. So I'm really excited about that. And the student section too, but also just the fans. I know last year there were a lot of people that wanted to come to games that couldn't come to games, community members. And I think, we have a large following in our athletics programs. So I think that'll be interesting and be fun to get a packed gym of Jonesville Comets.
Packed gym in the community, when they always come to the gym, is always amazing to see community and everybody just out there showing support to the team. Looking back on last year, any improvements on facing a big team in the late season? last year was a really good year for the Comets. They went, as I said, went to a 13-3 run to end their season. But playoffs were kind of district games. Facing those bigger schools were kind of tough because we faced teams that were in the Big 8 and we faced some teams that were in the Cascades Conference. But what do we have to do this year, Dad?
Well, I think one of the things we found out last year as a team was our league is a smaller league, as far as size of schools. But we play, this year we're the smallest Division II school in the state. So when we go to our districts, all of a sudden we're going to have to start playing against, teams twice the size of us. So we did, after our end of the season last year, as a coaching staff, we sat down and said, okay, here's what we need to do. We need to bolster up our summer competition schedule. So, we played a lot, and we played a lot of big schools. We played Ann Arbor Pioneer, and we played Ann Arbor Huron. We played Temperance Bedford. So we played a lot of Division I schools to kind of hopefully help prepare us for that. Also this year, in our preseason scrimmages, we have a scrimmage at Coldwater, who's a much bigger school than us. We also go to Parma Western for a scrimmage, so that's another opportunity. We kind of also improved our schedule a little bit. We kind of sought out to get some bigger schools to play to hopefully prepare us for our tournament run at the end of the season. So definitely something that we needed to work on and focus on, after that district loss last year.
Add-on question for the tournaments this year. You looking forward to the holiday tournament?
I am. The holiday tournament is a little different this year. One of the teams dropped out, so we actually play the winner. We're in the lower bracket, so we only have one game in the holiday tournament. But I'm excited for that. I guess when I was here a long time ago, I played in like the first Pat Patterson tournament, so aging myself a little bit. But I don't think they call it the Pat Patterson tournament anymore. I think it's now the holiday tournament of some sort. But so to see that there's two divisions and that we're in the lower division this year is kind of like I'm trying to wrap my head around that, like why that is. But I understand it's all based on wins and losses in the previous year. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, around the holidays, you get some of those kids that former alumni that are back from college and stuff and can come to the games. So I'm excited for that too.
The last question to wrap everything up here. What are you looking forward to this season? As I said, last year's a really good season for the Comets, 13-3. What are you looking forward to?
Well, I don't know if you remember last year when the first day of practice, we talked to the kids about expectations of our coaching staff. And our expectations were a couple things: to win the league every year, to go undefeated at home every year, and to win a district championship. And so that's, I think, year in and year out, that's got to be our focus. Our mentality's got to be one game at a time. And if we take care of everything one game at a time, when we get to the season, we should be hopefully able to achieve those goals. So I'm really excited. I want to improve upon what we did last year. Never satisfied as a coach and as a program, so we're always looking, to what do we need to do to get a little bit better,
Right. That's Jeff Turner's take on the upcoming season for basketball. Jonesville continues to hold the Big 8 titles and try to win every game at home.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Jacob.
Welcome back to Tricky Ricky's Power Hour as we move on to our next special guest. This key senior last year brought to the table 26.8 offensive and defensive rebounds. He shot 50% from the field goal line. He also played 19 minutes in every game, 26.8 assists. Welcome to the studio, Caden Playford. Thanks for being a part of my show today.
Thanks for having me, man.
Last year was a good year for us as a team. Anything that you can improve upon for the next season?
Well, we have to become better leaders now that we lost our key seniors last year, so we have to improve upon that. But I think we should be pretty solid again this year.
Right. Is there any key things that you've been working on, like handles, shooting, any kind of moves?
I've been focusing on shooting in the mornings mainly, but definitely need to get more into it now that we're getting closer to the season.
How do you feel that the student section is coming back? Last year we didn't have the student section because of COVID. Tickets were kind of limited, but now we have that student section coming back.
That's huge for us because they bring so much momentum to our team, and I think that'll be a big help, especially on the home games.
Right. What are you looking forward to this season? Last year we had a phenomenal year, won the Big 8 title, got into the district games. Western kind of took us out. Is there anything that we can do more this year to kind of face those bigger teams?
Well, we've been working on all summer, playing Class A schools to prepare ourselves for that next step. So first things first, we got to repeat as Big 8 champs, and then hope to make a bigger run in districts.
Right. Thank you for your time, Caden. Best luck to you this season for your last final year. Thank you. Welcome back to Turkey Ricky's Power Hour. Welcome to the studio, senior 6'1" guard, Alan Knowles. Thank you for being here, Alan. Alan, what have you been working on during the off season?
I've been working on a lot of shooting and got a new coach, so some of the plays are going to be kind of new. So I'm hoping to get in a little bit early and start learning those.
New plays are always hard to learn, especially last year. Some of the guys had some troubles with those. You did not play last year, which was your junior year. But what can you bring to the team your senior year?
One of the big things I focus on is having a positive mindset and just working hard.
The student section is back. The basketball team missed them last year due to all the COVID protocols and everything we had to follow. What do you think about the student section coming back?
I'm pretty excited for it. It definitely would be tough to play without them. It wouldn't be as loud, or there wouldn't be as much energy in the gym. So pretty excited to have them back.
Just what are you looking forward to this year? Last year, the basketball team had a successful season. They went 13-3. What are you looking forward to?
I'm hoping we can have a good season like we did last year and keep the success going and keep the name of the program good and just keep winning.
That's Alan Knowles and his part on the upcoming season for Jonesville basketball. Thank you for everybody tuning in today and Tricky Ricky's Power Hour. I'm glad that we got to give you guys exclusive content today for Jonesville's upcoming season. As I said, Jonesville continues to improve their basketball season. Last year they were 13-3. They continue to fight for more. This year they're going to look forward to becoming no other than district champs. Hopefully this year they can continue to fight and do all the goals that they need to do. Thank you for tuning in on Tricky Ricky's Power Hour. We'll see you guys next time.